Hey guys, I'm back with another video. Today is Tanjiro Uchiha, our Demon Slayer Tanjiro Uchiha. Yes, we started this series not too long ago, and this was my first ever Demon Slayer What If. And if you can hear that noise in the background, that's because I'm outside and it's very early in the morning. It's so early that no one's up, so like, what you mean? Respectfully, I say good morning to you. And let's get into this video because I have not gotten into this for a while. This has at least been 2 weeks since I've actually done this What If back again. So let's get into this What If. So we are going into a flashback because I forgot an arc and I will finish this arc because I forgot it. So we see Tanjiro going through a town, and then we find Tanjiro finding Muzan. When Tanjiro found Muzan, he tapped Muzan on the shoulder. Muzan, when turned around, saw Tanjiro. When Muzan saw Tanjiro, you could see a look of fear on his eyes. But Tanjiro didn't react. He had a stone cold face, a cold face. Then he looked down to the girl on Muzan's that's holding Muzan's hands, Muzan's daughter. As Tanjiro crouched on his legs and asked the girl if she wanted to see a magic trick. She then said yes. Asa then took out a piece of paper. He then placed chakra through it, and the paper, it split into four. Then one side went into flames, the others turned to damp, the other one turned to dust. And then lightning crunched the paper, the other side of the paper. Then black lightning appeared, and then they all turned into black flames and disappeared. She was so excited to see this magic trick. Tanjiro knew she was just a little girl. She was innocent. She didn't do anything. So he wouldn't want to scar her for life, to kill her father right in front of him. But unknowing to him, somebody was watching him. But we're not going to get into that yet. Tanjiro stand up and tilted his head and smiled at Muzan. But then unknowing to the little girl, Tanjiro activated his Sharingan and looked into Muzan's eyes and told him, "I'm coming for you." And then Tanjiro disappeared. In this case of events, Tanjiro actually did not. Oh no, Muzan did not scratch that man to make him a demon. So he wouldn't have to become a demon, and he wouldn't meet that girl. But he's still gonna meet that woman. Right now I can't remember her name. So yeah, that's my flaw. But anyways, sorry for that noise. So he wouldn't be able to remember. He wouldn't meet her. Muzan would still go off on his own and tell his wife to carry her. And he knew the only reason that Tanjiro didn't kill him there and then was mainly because of his daughter. And he knew he was taking a risk leaving his daughter, because without his daughter right now, he would be able to kill him. But when he got in the alley and he killed those two people that were drunk, he heard a voice, a chuckle, and then he looked up. You could saw Tanjiro's green and black cloak with his Demon Slayer outfit under the cloak. But most of all, you could see the sword. His black and red sword with the kanji for sun and copy eye, or copy wheel eye, on the sword. And then you could see Tanjiro's glowing Sharingan, crimson red Sharingan. His hair, his blood red hair flowing in the wind. As the side, he then told Muzan that, "I can't kill you now. That child over there needs a father for now. And when I realized that she gets to the age that she needs to, I'll kill you, Muzan. And that's a promise. That's a promise, Muzan. And that's the bust away in crows. Muzan is sweating. He is sweating. Like he's mad sweating. Cause first he just got a death threat. And he knew that he could deliver perfectly on that death threat because he knew the power of the sun breath. And he knew that he had the sun breath. And he also knew that he could actually negate the effects of the demon thing he has. But it was actually not true. It was just a one thing happening, and they're not as strong as they would be if they actually fully became demons. But hey, who's crawling though? Not me. My guns are immaculate. Anyways, then Asta saw a person that went to a person, not Asta, Tanjiro. Tanjiro went to a person that was looking at him, and he noticed it at a point in time. But this was not the person that was spying on him. No. This wasn't him. The person also saw the encounter with both of them, but Tanjiro did not see that person at the time. So yeah. Tanjiro went to that woman that could not negate the effect, could whatever she did. She was a doctor before she became a demon, and if you read the manga, you could see that she was once. I think she was once like Muzan's wife. I think she was once Muzan's wife. I think that like I can't remember what she was to him. It was either a maid or a servant. I don't know. But she was something to Muzan before. When we first see like the first sun breather. The first sun breather. He are technically the first sun breath user. No, he was actually the first demon slayer, to be honest. The first breath using demon slayer. He was a demon slayer before it. There was demon slayers before this, but he was the first breath using demon slayer. Yeah, that was it. But yeah, Tanjiro. But yeah, you all know who I'm talking about. The one, yeah, her. So Tanjiro appeared with her in front of her and that other guy, that boy thing, him, and he just standing there looking at him, looking at them actually. He knew they were demons, but they were acting like humans, which he found weird. But it wasn't his problem, nor his concern. He asked them what was their problem, and does he want them to put them to rest, or what does he want? They explain that they're doctors and they help people that have become demons by lessening the problems, but Us then explains what happened to Nezuko and his sister. Because if you remember, Nezuko is not Tanjiro's sister in this one. They're a family friend and they grew up together. And Nezuko kind of has some feelings for my guy Tanjiro. I actually love that shit, but I know it's wrong because like it's kind of incest though. But anyways, so Tanjiro, so they keep talking, but this is when the lower moons, I think that what they were called. No, they were not. They were lower. Were they lower? Were there the lower moons? Were there lower moons? Where are they lower moons? I was wondering, the girl with the 4 arms and the one that could predict movement, not predict movement, could make his. I don't know what he could do. I can't remember what he actually could have done. But yeah, those two. I think they were lower moons, but yeah, they still attack them. But Asta has a way better time fighting that the guy. He could see the arrows, and he could actually perfectly dodge them because his visual prowess was on fleek. He was just dodging him he didn't even have his sword out. He was just dodging with with his hand on his sword, just dodging him. And he was pretty angry, but Mugzan knew this wasn't gonna kill Asta. This is Asta we're talking about. Asta floods his sword with lightning, with storm release, which has black and purple lightning, and then dashes towards him and slices off his head, and then starts to he plants his sword into the ground and he starts his prayer. The dust is the soul's release. The dust is the soul's release, and the smoke is the soul's dust. Katon. If you know where that from, I don't think I said the prayer right, but meh. If you know where that from, comment down below if you know what that from. And by the way, I'm making progress on my TikTok account, so like you're gonna hear some stories from me, like respectfully. You could hear some stories, and it's actually stuff that happened in my life, in my lifestyle, living life like. Anyways, so let's go back to Tanjiro. Oh, by the way, Nezuko and his sister are at their house or base, whatever it was called. They're there, and they can use their blood demon art. And remember, they can be out in the sun. So they can be out in the sun, so they don't have to worry. That's why they're demon slayers. They can be in the sun, and they actually have their swords, and they can cut themselves, and it wouldn't hurt them. They can cut themselves and place their blood on the blade, and they call their style blood exploding water breath, and they can only use it 2 times a day, mainly because it could break their sword, and their sword needs time to recover and get off the steam off of it. But hey, so so they beat that girl themselves, both of them, using their both have the same blood demon art. I know it's impossible, but both of them have the same blood demon art, so they can just like popping poop popping. So they just like exploded her with the exploding water breath. So like boom. Anyways, they finish up and they say farewell. She has enough intel on Asta's King of Hell summoning to probably make an antidote, but she doesn't know if she can. Maybe not. Maybe yes. I don't know. I might. Meh. But when the series ends, she can make that potion, because we need content. I can't just do that. We need content. Anyways, then we go back to present time. Remember, this was a flashback and not actually happening in real time. Asta was just reminiscing on what's happening. Now they are there. They are where they still found the brother and sister, where their older brother went into the house. Into that house. No, he got dragged into the house or something. He got dragged into the house. Yeah, he still did. That still happened. And then Tanjiro, they still met Tanjiro and Zenitsu. And Zenitsu has a big crush on Tanjiro's sister now, because hey, she's a demon slayer, bro. Instead, she looks like Nezuko, but she has a ponytail instead of her just long hair. And Nezuko looks the same way that she looked in canon. She does have that mouth thing, but she doesn't have to wear it all the time. She just likes wearing it, and she has a black and pink hilted katana with a black blade with pink vines on the black side of the blade, which the edge of the blade is silver. So like yeah. and her brother and Asa's sister. She has everything Nezuko is wearing but blue. She's just like Nezuko, but she has blue blue instead of pink like Nezuko had. So they still went. So no, they wouldn't go there. Ah, there. So they would still go, and they would go in there to catch the house, the whatever they were going. So let's go with Zenitsu. Zenitsu would completely body that demon though. Like, no cap, he would body him. Because remember, Zenitsu has a seal for him to fall asleep and fucking banish this nigga to the shadow realm. Like, he was like, finesse, bounce off this, bounce off that, clapping flash, oof, dead nigga, head off. And that's it. Like, he's done, he's gone. Bye bye. See you later. See you later, never. Bye bye. Okay. Let's go to that boar hat mask thing, Majigi, with the beast breath or beast mimicry breath. I don't know what his breath is. With the double twin katanas, that guy, he still fights his demon and finesses him. So like, yeah. Remember, they're not a team yet. There'll be a team at the end of this, but like, they're not a team as yet. So let's go to Tanjiro. I know these matches are pretty quick, but you have to remember that everyone's kind of OP, and Nezuko and Tanjiro's sister would actually be in. So I'm gonna give them personal demons. So let's go with Nezuko's fight. It's just a random demon, and Nezuko runs toward the demon. The demon clashes with her katana. With the demon's nails. Nezuko jumps back on the wall and says, I think, what breath was it? I think it was glistening water rain, which was like the peaceful when you get sliced, which was peaceful like when you die, you don't feel any pain. Yeah, that's Nezuko. Nezuko is most proficient in that due to her kind-hearted nature, so she can kill a lot of people with that. She's more intact with it than Tanjiro. Tanjiro, he's not much of that type, but he can do it. But he's not as good as Nezuko at doing that breath. It's pretty hard for him to do. And Nezuko is Tanjiro is a very straightforward person. If she felt feelings for anyone, and he does feel feelings for Nezuko. Sorry, chicken, shut your mouth. He does feel feelings for Nezuko, but he doesn't know what it is. He needs an outside source to understand what it is. So yeah. So Tanjiro leaves. So Nezuko kills the demon without any pain done to the demon. Well, not pain, but he doesn't feel any pain, but he's dead as fuck though. Then we go to Tanjiro's sister. I'm sorry, I'm getting this shit wrong every freaking time. Anyways, we go to Tanjiro's sister. Okay, so Tanjiro's sister does the same thing that Nezuko did, mainly because of her kind-hearted. No, I think it's gonna make her more like Tanjiro. So she used crashing waves. I think it was like crashing waves or buzzing waves. No, she does the one that her brother made up. I think it was water breath, buzzing water. Yeah, she does that. And she does buzzing water and cuts off her head like a chainsaw, bro. Zing. Anyways, then we go to Tanjiro. Okay. I knew he was a lower Harsher. No, a lower moon. I knew he was. He was a lower moon. Oh god. He was a past lower moon. He had the iron stuff, but Muzan took that rank away from him, right? Yeah. So he's gonna be more of a challenge to Tanjiro than those two demons. So Tanjiro flicks back. He has his hand on the katana just like he did the other one, but he not underestimating him. He's just feeling him out. So he runs towards Tanjiro. Tanjiro still with the sword in his grip. He sidesteps it, but he taps the drum, and the place moves. Asta has to backflip to land on the wall. But this is actually no problem for Asta since he has chakra and he has chakra control. So he could either way he could stand on the ceiling. And he's standing on the ceiling. He is confused. The demon is confused. The demon is confused. The demon is confused. So he's supposed to fall off, but Asta's not. But Asta feels him out. He has finished feeling him out, analyzing all of his muscle movements and everything. He didn't realize that he will actually be a little bit of a problem. And then he pulls out his sword and says, "Sun breath, swirling flames." Asta's goal jumps down, and in a split of a second, Asta's on the ground, and his sword has slashed the ground, but the demon's arm is gone. He had just managed, just by an instant, he had moved out the way. So he sees, so Tanjiro looks up and he sees him, and he keeps swiping at him, and he keeps barely missing. And the reason is this, that he's holding back heavily so he can draw out his fights, because he's been realizing that he's become so overpowered. The demon really is a problem for him. He doesn't really need to fight them like that, and he goes on, he goes ahead, and he knows he could hit him faster and hit him with more speed. So he jumps up, kicks his body while doing a backflip. So he ran up, kicked his body, did a backflip, then sliced at him, which chopped off his leg. When chopped off his leg, he lost his footing. Then Tanjiro did, I think it was the last breath art or final breath art, I don't know, sun spirit, and she jumped in the air, and then he opened his eyes, and then he started to breathe in the way of the sun breathing, and he forced his sword in the demon's chest. But then heated red veins started to come out from the demon's body. The demon then explains his whole story, and a tear falls out of Asta's eye, but it's barely noticeable. But as the tear leaves Tanjiro's eye, it burns, and kaboom! The demon completely incinerated. The breath of the spirit, or the sun spirit breath, literally, you have to stick your sword inside of the person's chest so the breath would enter their body. When entering their body, it would enter their bloodstream and their veins, and flooding their veins with heat. And then when heat is added to the body would basically explode because of so much heat entering the body. That was so hard to say. Anyways, the body would explode because the heat entered their body. So much heat entered their body, but he didn't explode. He merely just turned into ash, and that's the openness of the last breath. Actually, unlike it sounds, it's pretty painless. You might feel a little bit of the burning sensation, but it's not as bad as you think it would be. But anyways, Tanjiro sheathes his sword, and he does a water wheel. I think that's what water wheel, and he completely puts out the flames that he made while just walking around here. I don't actually know how the breath works. Is it actual water that's coming out of the body? I actually don't know. I think it is water or just the breath or just the animation that makes it look like water, but hey, what do I know? I just did some research about every single thing, but anyways. Okay. So Asta leaves and well, he leaves there and the beast miracle breath user, the one with the born mouse that actually looks when you take it off looks like a girl. Anyways, he comes out. When he comes out, he sees Tanjiro. Tanjiro is he does smell the demon, but he kind of doesn't because he can sense a half demon, half human in both Nezuko and Asta and Tanjiro's sister. You can sense both of them. Both of them are So remember, Asta is Tanjiro is basically a noble or a chiefman or what do you call those? A lord. He's basically a lord of his land. So Asta is basically a lord. But anyways, which is a Chinese lord. I think it was or feudal is a feudal lord or something. I don't know what it's called. Sorry. I don't know that much of Japanese culture. Anyways, Tanjiro goes and he completely well, not he completely. He goes and he make what does he make? Fuck. Anyways, he goes to walk away, but then the Beast Mercury guy, I'll find out his name later. He comes and challenges him. Well, no, he attacks Nezuko and Tanjiro's sister. Nezuko blocks him with her own sword, which he sees, and he knows she's a demon slayer, but he also is half demon, so he doesn't know what to think no more. Because basically she is a demon slayer, but she kind of isn't. So he kind of doesn't know what to think at this point. He doesn't know what to call her, but he knows she's some way related to a demon. So he's still gonna try to hurt her, but he doesn't know if he should kill her. And chopping off her head it would kill her, but it would incinerate her body. It would kind of burn her though, but meh. So Tanjiro leaves. And no, Tanjiro cat when he was going to swing the other sword, Tanjiro appeared and caught the sword with his bare hands because he doesn't need to. He just caught it with his bare hands. You know how people like squinting their fingers together and just like catch a sword? That's how he just did that. And the beast guy asked Tanjiro to fight, and Tanjiro was like, "No sweat." And they start to battle. They start to pop, 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 pow, like start to throw hands. So Tanjiro is not really using his sword, like duh. He barely uses his sword for anything. But he's gonna use his sword in this arc though. But he's gonna use the sword, but he doesn't use it for anything really. So he's just dodging, weaving, blocking the sword from hitting him, doing that. He flips over him. He does all his shit right. Then he told him to take him seriously, and Tanjiro, he's like, all right. He then went forward and he didn't unsheath his sword. He pulled his sword into his belly. So he didn't pull it out, but it stuck in his belly. So and after that he got knocked out. So after that Tanjiro healed him. After that Tanjiro healed him, and after Tanjiro healed him. After Tanjiro healed him, He woke up and they went to that village or that town, whatever they wherever they went after that mission. And in this time, Tanjiro knew about this place because, like I said, he's a lord. Lords keep in contact with other lords, so everyone knows that Tanjiro is the new lord of what his he's not a clan of his parents company business. They know he's the lord now though, but they know what happened to his other family members. They all gone and dead. Meh. But Tanjiro, the fact is, Tanjiro knows this place. He knows it exists, and he told him that he knew where this was. And Zenitsu asked how he knew this place, and Tanjiro, with a non-caring voice, said that he's a lord, so he would know about this stuff. Zenitsu is now dumb fucked, like he's dumbstruck. Now he is just oh he just looking at him like the fuck. And he actually gets on his knees and bows, and Tanjiro then says, "You weren't treating me like that before, so don't start it now. Don't take it as an insult or me pasteurizing you. Just don't do it. It's not like a angst you should do in the first place." Zenitsu then stands up and realizes that Asta is really just truly his friend, so he just doesn't really expect him to do something like that. So Zenitsu comes to terms with that they're friends. But I want you to know that um Tanjiro's sister and Nezuko can't actually shrink, and the box is still there. Because when they want to sleep, they would just go in the box. And Zenitsu actually has a box on him too. So like, if Tanjiro's sister wants to sleep, she would go in that box. Because remember, she can still absorb power by sleeping. So she can increase her blood demon aura by sleeping and recharge the aura by sleeping. But not in the box. She can do it anywhere, but like in the box is the more preferred place. Anyways, so they get in and they settle in. Nezuko takes the thing out of her freaking mouth, that bamboo thing. She takes that out of her mouth, and she sits down and she lays on Tanjiro's lap. Tanjiro's sword and clothes. He's just wearing bandages at this point. Just wearing some black bandages. It's like a shirt made out of black bandages, skin tight shirt. So his muscles and his abs are imprinting. His biceps are imprinting through the bandages, so you can see how much this nigga trains. And you can actually faintly see a scar mark going straight down Asta's back. Now, you're asking how this happened. This happened in Asta's training with Nezuko. Nezuko accidentally used her blood demon arc one time, and she hit up a stick, and it kind of singed Tanjiro's back. But it's okay. Now, it's nothing really to ponder on. It took him a while to heal, though, because he couldn't use the King of Hell or anything at the time. So, like, yeah. So Tanjiro then starts to run. Like, no, he then starts to go to sleep. He unseals some food that he made. He unseals some food and kunai. He stalks back up on some kunai, put it in the pouch that he has. He ties his hair back into a ponytail with two bangs framing his face, with two bangs on each side of his face, and he's getting ready to go to sleep, and Nezuko is right next to him. And when Zenitsu tried to get close to his sister, Asta picked up a kunai and threw it right by his leg, just so he knew that he was not gonna allow that. Okay? It's his sister after all. He might not. He doesn't care if his sister likes Nezuko. If his sister likes Zenitsu, he doesn't care about that. He doesn't really bind. But sleeping together is a whole different thing. Now him and and who her name is? Him and Nezuko are different because they are not in a relationship, but they've been with each other for a very long time. So they go to sleep and they wake up in the morning, and this is where they start to get dressed, put on their gear. So Tanjiro is always looking fly. He's just not fun. And in this time, he had a kanji on his back? Yeah, he had a kanji on his back that had Demon Slayer, and on his shoulder he had the Uchiha on his shoulder of his Demon Slayer outfit. He had the Uchiha sign, and he had ninja sandals. Yeah, I'm giving him ninja sandals. But his pants was a little shorter. But then there were bandages. There were black bandages. So like, yeah. Then there was a cool. Then there was a cooldown pouch. No, no. He has seals, so he doesn't need a cooldown pouch. So yeah, and he does have explosive tags and a lot of that. So he can cause explosions, but He's not a blood demon or anything of the sort. So they still get the mission about Ryu, that 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 spider kid, spider man boy demon, spider demon thingy jobber. That kid with the spider demon that's the lower moon. Actually, a lot of people thought that he was a higher moon, but he's actually a lower moon. Actually, for the first time I watched it, I thought he was a higher moon for truth though, like for facts. That the lower moon that we first saw, the first lower moon that we saw, Tanjiro took him out like it was a breeze. Well, not a breeze, but he took him out pretty easily. He didn't have to try hard, but when he figured out he was still a lower moon, I was like, yo, these niggas be OP as fuck. Anyways, Tanjiro goes. Tanjiro gets up, and the crows still give them information. They gear up, and they go to the place. Let's skip forward to that because nothing interesting happens like after they leave. So then they make it to the wooded area, and then they still find the people, and Tanjiro still smells the blood in the air, and he still runs over there. Has his sword on hand, just like getting ready to pull it out, just hopping from tree to tree, which the others can't do. But let me remind you, Nezuko and Tanjiro's sister can do the crow body flicker, so they can bust into crows. It takes a lot of stamina to do, but they can't do it. But they don't have chakra. They're relying on a breathing technique, just crow body flicker. They have to control the breathing to a rapid pace and just flicker with their breathing, and they're using crows, so like, yeah. So Tyler just like fucking running. He's just fucking running, and he slicing down trees too, using his blue. He's just doing his thing, right? Tanjiro still goes. All of them are just running, and they get upon the people that are being controlled with the figurine things. With the people that are gaining control. No. They are gaining control. They're getting controlled by those strings or the wires, whatever you want to call it. They're getting controlled by those things. Yeah, those people. So they cut off the lines. But Tanjiro can see the lines, and he told them about the threads. And Asta he grabs one of the threads and uses Storm Release and pulses lightning through the thread, and it shocks the person. He finds the person, and this person still tells him her story and what happened, and he still feels sad. So he used the glistening rain thing to slice off her head, so she doesn't feel any pain and she feels at peace. He did do the prey, the prey. If you know where that prey is from, Katon, like not Katon. I think it was Katon. Yeah, I think it was Katon. Anyways, He still did the prayer, and they go, and yeah, they go. They go to the forest, that and and Zenitsu still fights the lizard, the spider body, human head demon man thingy, and the other one still fights the demon body with the muscular demon body with the no the demon human body with the spider head thingy. The beast that beast man still does that, and let's say Nezuko and Tanjiro's sister fight the sister. Yeah, let's make her a little stronger than she was in canon. So I'm gonna go through their fights, then I'm going to Tanjiro's. So the fight between the buff demon, I'm gonna call him the buff demon for now, and buff demon. Yeah, the same thing happens in canon. Like he's getting mollywopped. Anyways, so we don't have to go into that. Zenitsu now. Zenitsu's different because he knew he couldn't fight him in his base form, so he activated that seal motherfucker, and he like finesse, 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 and he finessing everyone, and he's just like he's taking out all the like those baby spider things, and just like finesse, 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 and finesse. And he keeps on killing them until he gets to the main one, and just like clapping thunder, and just like and just sends this nigga to the shadow realm. God damn it. He still did the sky, the moon pose thing. He still did the moon pose, Katina, and just like he still did the moon pose and sliced him up. He still did that thing and sliced him in. He sliced him up. He still did that. So then came to Nezuko and Tanjiro's sister. Tanjiro's sister note people that it's morning and morning is cold, and I don't do so cold. I don't do so good with cold, so my allergies are kind of acting up. But anyways, don't worry about it. But anyways, so he still did the moon pose thing. So let's go into Tanjiro's sister and Nezuko, their fight. So they're going ham on her. They're jumping everywhere. She's blocking. They cut off her hand at a point. Damn, they did the glistening water, double glistening rain, double thing, maybe Majabra thingy, Majab, and just like, and just like, they did her dirty. They did her dirty. Like they did her dirty. They double tapped her. Anyways, let's go on to Tanjiro, bruh. He is more powerful than the water. What is it called? The water Hashira, which is his brother. Well, it's not his brother, but it's his brother. It's the person that took care of him as a kid. So he calls him Big Bro, whatever his name is. Still can't remember that shit. But this time he does it. He goes upon a different approach. He finds out he knows that he needs to use some stuff. He can't be always doing everything by like doing that shit. So he brings out so snakes leak from his sleeves. Snakes come out of his sleeves and they rush towards the spider demon, right? They rush toward him, right? He tries to block them off by cutting them with strings, but they just swivel out of his strings. They all shoot poison at him and it gets him. This is poison especially made for demons, so it would work. Tanjiro then does buzzing water, the water breathing technique that he made, and completely finessed this nigga. Like he was like, what you mean? Swing, and just completely knocked off his head like a bitch. Just completely beat, pop, boop, pop, beat, and just knocked off his head. And we get his story. We did get his story where he was always weak, and his parents accepted him, and he was wrong. They were gonna take their lives after killing him. All of that, and they were going to do whatever. Like, it was a very touching scene to see how devoted his parents was to protecting him. And god damn did I like them. Like, god, those were some good parents. They were top tier parents. Although they never had a face. The creator didn't even have the time to make their faces. If you did see their face, I'm sorry, but I definitely did see their face. Definitely. Anyways, so Tanjiro goes and the the Hashiras came and sat that girl. But when Tanjiro and her meet, Tanjiro remembers something. But I'm gonna go back into that when they get back to the base. This time, when she goes to fight Nezuko and Tanjiro's sister, Tanjiro sees this. Because they're not too far from each other, because Nezuko wanted to fight close to her lover, and, well, not lover, but her main love interest. And Tanjiro's sister wanted to fight near to her brother, so it made sense for her to, like, fight near to him, right? So they're fighting close. So when that butterfly Hashira came, Tanjiro blocked her not with even, because poison would affect him really. Poison doesn't really affect him because Sasuke had immunity to poison. So, like, yeah, if you didn't know, Sasuke has immunity to poison, so it wouldn't work on him. So when the poison hit him, it didn't work, and she could see that it didn't work. It went into his skin and everything. It just didn't work. Asta was about to snap the sword, but then his brother came, and then Asta just ran up to his brother. He didn't open his hands or anything. He just went straight into his belly, and the water Hashira hugged him. He had a small smile, but both of them had blank faces, to be honest. Like, they had blank faces, and she just looked at him and looked at Tanjiro, and as she says, I could see the resemblance. Well, it's mainly because of his blank face when looking at her. He didn't really show any emotion towards her. Like, he was like, and then seeing how he reacted to him, I called him Onisan. I think that was Onisan. I think that's what it is. I don't know. I think it was Big Brother. I think Onisan is Big Brother. I can't remember. So she could see the resemblance. Well, not resemblance. The attitude or the emotion towards each other. She could see how they could have been related to each other. But they're not related. But Tanjiro calls him Big Brother. You know the gist. So they go back to the Hashira headquarters or the Butterfly Palace. I don't know what they called it. Butterfly Palace. I don't know. So they go. And as Tanjiro, Crow body flickers half of the way and they walk the rest. So it didn't take all that much time to get there. All the teams they didn't body flicker with them. They actually had to walk there because Tanjiro was not gonna go back for them. And Tanjiro's sister and Nezuko wanted to do so, but they didn't have enough stamina to do that at like 100 freaking times. So, Tanjiro could have done it, but he's just too lazy to do it now. So they again reach to the Hashira headquarters, where Tanjiro and the rest are treated, but Tanjiro doesn't really need treating because his body's pretty tough. He has Madara levels of body toughness. Sasuke, Itachi, Izuna, Obito that got crushed by a rock. He basically has the intangibility too, so it doesn't really matter for him. Shisui, they got his eye plucked the fuck out, and he didn't even shed a tear. He was like, fam, why you do me like that? But he was like, nah. Alright. And Itachi, who suffered a sickness, but fought through that sickness like a G. But anyways, and Sasuke's bitch ass durability. I just can't respect Sasuke. I don't know why. I just cannot respect Sasuke like that. He's a bitch to my in my eyes. Only adult Sasuke I respect. The only Sasuke that I would ever respect is adult Sasuke. Not even Final Valley Sasuke I would respect in my heart, nigga. Only no, I refer that Naruto the last Sasuke and adult Sasuke. Those are the only Sasuke's I can ever forgive. Because they are goats in their own territory. So yeah. So they go and they heal up, and this is where all the Hashiras came in. And Tanjiro was not tied up. Well, no, he was tied up. Let's say he was tied up, just for simplicity's sake. The butterfly Hashira tied him up because she knew that he was stronger than her. So she was like, "Nah, fam, you gotta be tied up. Like, if someone pisses you off, you might go off on them, and it will not be a good thing." And Tanjiro, he understands. He knew if someone pissed him off, he would he would fuck him up. What you mean? So everything goes to according to plan, but before he could finish speaking, that guy with the scars and whatever that was on him, the scars and stuff that was on him, come up to him, and he has Nezuko, because Nezuko was sleeping at the time, and she's still sleeping. She's not really like, she's in a deep sleep. He still says that she's a demon. She might not smell like one. She might not be a full demon, but she still is a demon, and he wants to kill her. And he tries to kill her. Well, he did. He stabbed the sword through her body, and she wakes up. I asked her if she wants to drink her blood. She says she doesn't even drink blood. She doesn't need to. And he realized, wait. She's in the sun, and she's not burning. And he gets kind of weirded out, cause her teeth and her eyes surely state that she's a demon, but she's in the sun. Nezuko then explains that she was a demon at a point, but Asta healed her. Well, to a point, she still has the strength and powers of a demon, but she's still a human. She's a human that has the power of a demon. He's kind of scared, but no, Tanjiro is not. He doesn't care. He rips off those bandages, bruh, and he just appears in front of him. And he took off his brother's sword. He didn't care. He didn't have his sword on him. He just took out his brother's sword and stabbed him right in the shoulder. He doesn't give a fuck. He said, "Fuck that thing. I ain't not playing these games with you." And he stabbed the sword in his shoulder and double kicks him in the belly. This is where the snake Hashira comes and tries to pin him down to the ground. Yes, he does. He did pin him down to the ground, but then snakes, and he still tries to intimidate Naruto with his stick. But Naruto still gives him a blank ass look. And then a snake comes out of his sleeve and wraps around that snake and kills the snake. Yeah, kills him. Same and simple. Okay, I'm joking. I can't let him do that. But he still. So the snake, a bigger snake, if a Orochimaru snake, wraps around his body, and a bunch of other snakes come around him and just starts hissing at him. It's like, I dare you. I dare you to move. It's just telling you, I dare you to move. I dare you. So then Tanjiro kicked him off of him and was going to actually kill him. I don't know what Hashira he is. No, he's the Wind Hashira. Yeah, he's the Wind Hashira. He infused his sword with wind and was just about to kill him until his brother, his Onisan, came and held his hand from killing him. The other Hashira was not going to do anything, because mainly, the fact is that he was going to kill a human with the demon's power, which could actually help them, which was his sister or his lover, because they don't look alike actually. None of them. It was important to him, and they knew one of them was his sister, so they thought that Nezuko was Tanjiro's sister. But wait, no, Nezuko and his Oni-san grabbed his hand and just like, "Nah, fam, don't kill him. So Tanjiro actually listens and pelts up his sword, and the sword landed into his brother's sheath. That's how cool Tanjiro is. He got up, dust off his clothes, and he went to to the headmaster, whatever his name is. He asked him if he want his eyes healed because he helped his great descendant before, and he told him he's gotten used to it, but it wouldn't hurt to like get his eyes back. So Tanjiro summons the king of salt and kicks him in there. He doesn't really care. He's angry at this point, so he doesn't really think about any like social standing. When he kicked him in there, everyone then they started to draw their swords. But then they came at Asta. But then shadow clones of Asta just came out and blocked all of them without even having a black look on their face, except the Water Hashira. The Water Hashira didn't really do anything. The Wind Hashira tried to like do something, but his shoulder was stopped, and Nezuko was already healed from that shit. So like, it's your fault though. You know this, right? It's your fault. You did some dumb shit. And Nezuko is just looking at him like, you dumb. You real dumb. I just like, fam, you dumb. That's plain and simple. You dumb as fuck. Like, that's plain and simple. And he admits he was dumb for like doing that shit. He brought her out in the sun and didn't even realize that she didn't even know that she started to burn. Anyways, so he's holding him off, and then the headmaster comes out of there with his fully eyes healed. He can see, he can do everything, he can smell, and everyone sees that the scar that was on his face is gone, and his eyes has gained back color again. He then says, "I can see again." Huh. And everyone's shocked, and the two girls that's on side of him was also shocked, which they're always stoic, but they see, he can see again, and they're like, "Oh my god." So they do their things, and everyone's happy. They apologize for trying to attack him, and Tanjiro asks the big guy if he wants his sight back too. He said he never needed it in the first place, but he wouldn't mind. He then kicked him into the King of Hell too, gave him back his sight, and both of them got a 3 more power increase, because sight is a very big help. But he did tell them that they would still need to train their eyes, because they haven't used their eyes you haven't used your eyes since you were born. I could tell that. But you're different. You got your eyes taken away from you. So meh. So you understand that they have to like practice to use their eyes again, because he never had his eyes in the first place. Well, not that they didn't have eyes, but he could never see out of his eyes in the first place. But he has to adapt to reusing his eyes. So yeah. So they go off to do that. So then Tanjiro goes to see that person that he saw that was really familiar to him. He then went into the butterfly house, whatever it was, and he sat down next to a girl. He then laid on the floor, and the girl was still on. She was just sitting down. The whole Japanese sit down. They were just sitting down with full legs and stuff, whatever that was. So Ashta answers her, "You're who I think you are, right? You want me to keep the promise?" That's what Tanjiro said. She said in a teasing way, which was odd for her since she was always stoic. In a teasing way, said, "What promise? What promise?" But Tanjiro said, "Don't play with me." She then said, "But we have a problem. There's another girl named Nezuko. She likes me too." She then said, "I have no problem. Just wants you to keep your promise." he got up. I called Nezuko. Well, he sent a crow to call Nezuko. Nezuko came in the room and asked to explaining. A long time ago, where my family was taking me out to see the world, I saw her. She was being treated badly, and I gave her family money for her, which I thought they used for her. And she nodded her head, and she would be exactly right. And I promised her that I would marry her one day. I didn't tell her parents that. Maybe if I did, they would capture her, but yeah. I found out that she's been sold in a slave organization, but I could never find her. Which she was talking about the girl, the butterfly student. No, she was the flower. She was the flower breath user. I think that's what it was. And she explained her part of the story. And he asked Nezuko if she would be okay to be his girlfriend and to marry him one day. And Nezuko was fine with it. She liked Tanjiro, and she liked Tanjiro, and he made her a promise. So keep good on your promises, buddy. And we have seen that you can have more wives. You can have more. You could have more than one wife in Demon Slayer because of that guy that had like 20 fucking different girls wives. So like yeah. So he still goes and he kisses both of them on the lips. Cause remember, Tanjiro is blunt. He doesn't really feel on the attachment of being the lead in himself. So he says. So he gets up and he says he's going to the bath. And they go to the bath because he already had mastered complete breathing, or control. I can't remember the name of it. He already mastered what they were training to do. There's only Zenitsu and a demon breath user. It's only them that has to do that training. Tanjiro doesn't, so because he already learned it. But he's just gonna refine on more of his word style, and he's gonna refresh himself. But then Headmaster calls Tanjiro back and all the rest of the Hashiras. Tanjiro gets his gear on, his Demon Slayer gear on, and then they go out. The Nezuko and the butterfly breath user, they come out, but they're not. And Tanjiro's sister, she comes out too, and Zenitsu and the beast breath user thingy majabber, he comes out. They all come out, and the Hashiras get in line, and Tanjiro goes up to the headmaster, and he explains, "You are one of the most powerful demon slayers I had ever met, and you have the first breath art, the breath of the sun." They all hear this, and this was incredibly shocking because he never used it fighting them. He just like straight up just finessed all of them. But then the snake Hashira asked, "Does he have the snake breath since he was using snakes?" He said no. He is a sun breath user. He is from the whatever family, whatever you want Tanjiro's family to name in this what if. Tell me what you want his family to name, because I can't think of a name right now. So whatever you want his family to really name is not. I'll just take in consideration, but it has to have in his last name. So you could his last name whatever, right? So like yeah. So they understand that he is from that whatever family, and he has the fire god breath, or the fire god dance. That's what the name is. That's the English iteration of it, the fire god dance. But anyways, if you watch the dub, you'll know that they say that sometimes, but then they say the Japanese name sometimes. If you watch it dubbed, or if you watch it subbed, you would always hear the Japanese name of it. But not my problem. Do what you do. It's really not my problem. Anyways, Tanjiro goes, and they didn't explain that he also had met Muzan. Everyone's shocked. None of the Hashiras had ever met Muzan, ever in their life. But he meets him, and he's only been a demon slayer for what now? A few months. And he then goes on to say that he even put fear into Muzan himself. Tanjiro still has a blank look on his face because he did do all these things. He should be feeling prideful, but hey, the water Hashira just rubs Tanjiro's head, and Tanjiro feels pretty good by this. It's his only child, so he doesn't really care. So then he says, by that, I here give you the rank of the sun Hashira. Now, Tanjiro is becoming a Hashira. He is the youngest ever Hashira, and he's the strongest Hashira, taking the title from the stone breath user. Is that even a stone? He's a fucking mallet. But anyways, a stone breath user. He takes that title from him, and he is the sun Hashira. They then give him a jacket which is similar to his, but it has two kanji on it. Which one was the Demon Slayer kanji, and then there is the Hashira kanji, the kanji for Hashira. Tanjiro is pretty excited by this. He doesn't show that he's excited, but you can tell, hardly though, but you can tell. The only people that can actually tell is the butterfly user, because she has spent a lot of time around the water breath user. So yeah, Tanjiro bows and leaves. But sadly, this is where we're gonna end this video off. But I would like you to know I will be doing the movie when I watch it. I haven't watched it yet, but I will be doing the movie. That will be the continuation. Put down in the comments what you want Tanjiro's family's name to be. Not his family name, but how to address his family. Put that down in the comments. Check out for my TikTok. Well, when I make it anyways. I'm on the process of making it, so don't get your hopes up. A lot of what do I have to say? Thank you guys. I've done 2 1 hour what ifs for now. I've done 2 of them, and I'm about to be 3, but I respectfully say goodbye.